The show rolls on after a convincing road win in week number 7. The Reaver football team was ready to entertain the home fans. A dangerous DuPage team comes to town. Would they bring some Windy City magic, or would Iowa Western do what Wile E. Coyote never could? Catch the Roadrunner. Highlights of the Reavers and the Chaparrals are coming up next on the Coach Stroh Show, only on CBTV 17. Undefeated and seemingly in control of their own destiny, the Iowa Western Reavers returning home on Saturday to take on a team they've never lost to, the College of DuPage. Jake Ryan joined by the head coach of the Iowa Western Reavers, a guy that's got his own shirt, Scott Strohmeyer, and Stroh knows football is what the shirts say in the bookstore. You have one of these yet?
I don't. But
you don't?
Be careful who you ask.
Here you go.
Well, thanks.
I mean, that one's yours. It's a little big for you, probably.
No, I think it'll fit.
Okay. So did you know you were having your own shirt made, first of all?
No, I heard that it was a possibility, but until I got, or I think Eddie brought one over to my office on Thursday or Friday.
Yeah. But then you had the whole family in last weekend. How many of them purchased a shirt?
I don't know. Every single one of them had them. I was like, I told them they had to because I didn't know if anybody else would buy them, so they felt sorry for me in case we didn't want to have a whole bunch of them in the bookstore.
Yeah, well, maybe they'll be on the clearance rack eventually, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Head coach Scott Strohmeyer and Jake Ryan, we are joined for today's show because, why? Because we're going to be talking about the College of DuPage. Coach, DuPage, always a dangerous team. You know that coming into the season, whether they're at home, whether they're on the road. You've never lost to them, but they always are a team that could jump up at any time. You've got to take care of business. What was the feeling going in?
Well, it was really no different. I thought they had as much talent as they've had in some other years, but our kids came out and were ready to go. And I mean, they're coached well and they prepared. It comes down to execution. And
you were kind of surprised us a little bit. You started Zach Martin at quarterback, and let's take a look at the highlights and see how it went from Zach's first start as a collegiate quarterback. Of course, the Omaha North graduate. Reavers coming out in another new uniform combination, the blue whites. And the Reavers will go to work immediately on the opening drive. It seemed that Zach took a little while to get comfortable, but it didn't take long for Devon Pay to get going. How about that spin move? Breaks a tackle, and he's off to the races.
Well, I'll tell you what, anytime you have a quarterback that starts for the first time and you can get one completion and then a big run like that settles him down a little bit.
Devon is very prone to the long runs, and we certainly have fun watching him. Now, DuPage would come out, and the Reaver dark side would go to work almost immediately. There's Justin Van Houten, overwhelmed by Mike Edwards as well, and also Ford Howell on the play. So you guys have your linebackers and your defensive line doing work.
Defensively, we came out and played extremely well. They didn't have anything going in the run game, and we were getting that pass rush as well. It was fun to watch.
There's Merrick Jackson with his dance moves. Now, Zach brought down, tried to roll out on that play, looked like, and just couldn't get out of pressure. On the next play, he'll throw to, I believe that was Alex Reed on that far side.
Andrew Davis.
It was Andrew Davis,
yep.
and popped out. So you guys up 7-0, but will give the ball back to DuPage. They trying to get something going still in the ball game.
Yeah, and offensively we didn't have a great series there, but the punt and our defense is playing well. We get a punt blocked right here.
Yeah, Dominic Wilson seems to be a guy that really just knows where to be and when to be on the football. What is he like when he's in practice getting ready for this?
I mean, that's what he plays for right there. The special teams, the punt blocks. He loves being out there on that phase of the game.
Reavers go 3 and out on their next drive, and Zach Mahoney is going to be picked off by number 99. And what happened with Merrick there? He didn't have enough gas to get to the end zone, or what?
Yeah, I told him in pregame he's always running routes and running around. I think he wore himself out.
Handoff to the Minnesota Mammoth. Anthony Anderson will score the touchdown. Ball does go loose, but he broke the plane before the ball got loose, and it's quickly 14-0 Reavers.
Well, it was a good play by defense, and Merrick Jackson made a heck of a play to give us good field position, and then to get another one to go up 14-0 is a good way to start.
So Zach Mahoney under pressure all day long from the Reavers. This time he'll throw it up to their backup quarterback, Aloysius Gray, and that one overthrown, which is pretty hard to do. Aloysius Gray, pretty tall guy.
Yeah, we were in good position. Rico Gafford was in there at good position.
A little bit of extracurriculars on that tackle on Taj Williams. Here's a pass down the middle, and a nice job from Zach to Alex. And he just seems to find his receivers quickly, which I think is a lot of what works for him in the offense.
Yeah, and all those plays was a run-pass option, and if the pass is there, we take it. If not, we run it, and that's where Tyus just had that one as
Alex
well.
Reed to the back corner of the end zone, and that play, that play right there, I think, is what was building the confidence. Alex, and then the lift again. Those guys seem to be doing that a lot this season. Have you guys watched Dirty Dancing in the offseason? Is that what's going on?
No, we didn't. I don't know what they're doing, to be honest with you.
Martin Perez, the running game for DuPage, really couldn't get going, so they'll go back to the arm of Zach Mahoney. He gets the ball popped out, and the Reavers will come up. Actually, the ball kicked out of bounds. They should have come up with it. It looked like 3 guys, and the ball does go off a leg and then out of bounds, so they'll get another chance at it. And this one, a little screen to the outside, and Christian Ellison, their big back, will move it forward on the reception.
That was probably their positive play that they've had up until this point.
Another throw by Mahoney, and it is Jamie Thompson that comes through with the breakup. So you guys will get the ball back again, and in the huddle, you give the instructions. It seemed to work because here comes a long one into the hands of Reed Bonner, and a guy that hasn't found the end zone yet, but he certainly has gotten some big clips.
He has, and that's just a nice little play-action pass, and we were able to get him open over the middle.
So second quarter ends, or first quarter ends, second quarter starts. You guys are up 21-0. And then you start working down the middle, and here's one that we thought maybe Andrew Davis should have stretched out his frame a little bit. He might have had 6 on that one.
Yeah, I asked him. He didn't want that touchdown. I thought good play. It was designed for that, and we'd hoping he'd get in, but then we get our little, almost like a sneak in there.
Lorenzo Pratt scoring the touchdown, and then DuPage will start to get it going at 20, down 28-0, and they get the ball and started to have a little bit of momentum. They do punt it away this time, and not a very good kick. In fact, it goes the opposite way, and they seem to have a little bit of issue fielding the ball on punts as well.
Yeah, I mean, we had pretty good field position for most of the day.
How about this one down the middle, or excuse me, down the middle to Ronald Nash. And Nash, I just asked you before the show started, is he your fastest guy? You said no, he's not, but certainly turned on the afterburners on that run.
Yeah, he did. Got in open in the middle, and there's a nice one to Taj. Kind of Zach's really feeling comfortable here.
Yeah, just absolutely slinging it. Here's Marshall Clark to the outside, and he'll get up inside the 15-yard line, and then, hey, why not just keep at it. Another throw to the end zone. This one is Reed Bonner's first touchdown as a Reaver, and he finally finds the end zone for number 25.
We're waiting. We haven't been able to really run that play most of the year, and it was good to get it in and for Reed to get that touchdown.
So you're up big, and DuPage, again, still not going away. They finally find some positive breaks, and then Bryson McCabe makes them pay for it. That hit could be heard all the way up in the press box.
I heard it big time on the sidelines. I wasn't really just watching it, and I heard it.
Here's their wide receiver sneaking all the way down to the 1-yard line. We thought he was going to be out of bounds before that, but he does walk the tightrope, and then a couple plays later, they get the touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, they had a couple shots at that one and to get a touchdown before the half, but they really didn't do anything the first 2 quarters, and except for that one drive.
Well, Mahoney seemed to be on his heels much of the game. I thought the defensive line and the linebackers played very well, forcing him into hurried throws where he was just off the mark.
Yeah, I mean, and we did. We got pressure. We didn't have to bring a lot of pressure to get pressure, so that's the defensive line credit, and really our linebackers in coverage do a nice job. And he never got into a rhythm. I don't think. Maybe that little spell later in the game, but other than that, we kept him in check.
Well, 42-6 your halftime score. Would there be any drama in the second half? We'll take a look at those highlights and hear more from the coach coming up next here on the Iowa Western Football Coaches Show. It's the Coach Stroh Show. Hey, Stroh knows football on CBTV 17.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
The Stroh Show rolls on here on CBTV 17. Jake Ryan and the head coach of Iowa Western Football, Coach Scott Strohmeyer. It is the Stroh Show, and you can see the T-shirt there. Those are available in the college store. Have you thought about anything else that we can do with your last name? I mean, we've named the show after you. We've got a T-shirt with your name on it. I mean, what else could we possibly do?
I think we're good.
Okay.
I think we're
the
good.
Stroh Trophy. that rhymes too. Come on.
We'll
All right, you're up 36 points at the half on DuPage. Still 30 minutes to play. You've got a little bit of an extended roster because you are at home. But you look at that score and you have a bunch of guys that might go, hey, it's already in the bag. You know what? Hutch is next. Let's go. But you got 30 minutes to play. What do you tell them at halftime?
Well, I mean, that's really what, I wanted them to stay focused and try to get out there and continue playing. Hopefully we can get a whole bunch of people into the game. That was the goal, is to get guys into the game. So then some of those guys will be maybe a little bit fired up to get in and get their action. I mean, it can be hard, but at the same time, our kids want to go out there and be successful as well. So you don't know when your last day of playing is. So hopefully they go out there for the last 30 minutes.
All right, well, let's take a look at the last 30 minutes. The second half highlights coming up as the Reavers are out of the locker room and ready to go against DuPage. 42-6. Would it be Zach Martin that we'd see at quarterback? Well, we wouldn't find out because DuPage would have the football first, and they would fumble it nearly right away. Reavers will get it, and here comes Zach Martin. He'll keep slinging it, already with 4 touchdown passes in the first half, and he'll get it out to Taj Williams, looking to the end zone this time. And again, a wide open play, so wide open that it fooled our camera guy, Alex Reed, his second touchdown of the game.
What was it? One, getting good field, or the turnover, again, good field position offensively. Couple plays and score, good way to come out the second half.
And here's a big return for Martin Perez all the way down the sideline into Reaver territory. What happened on the special teams breakdown? I'm sure you had some words for Coach Cashmore, didn't you?
No, we moved a lot of people. We took some guys off and put some guys out of position, but you still got to go down there, make a play, and stay in your lanes.
Here is Mahoney still out there slinging it, rolls out, gets away from some pressure, and then turns it upfield for a positive gain. It just a little bit quicker than your defensive lineman on that one.
Yeah, he was. Kevin was going. Kevin actually played pretty well, and but he got away from him on there.
How about this little series of plays? Zach Martin to Tyler Lloyd. Zach Martin to Tyler Lloyd. It was, I believe, 5 out of 6 plays that you went to number 9, Tyler Lloyd. What was the design on that series?
Six straight plays, or same plays, everything, and we got a bunch of options in the play, and if they keep giving it to you, just keep taking it. And that's what Zach did.
They certainly did. Here's a pass finally to somebody else's, Taj Williams. Let's go this way. Hey, guess what? It's another pass short, and the Reavers keep moving it upfield.
A really good drive here, just of execution and getting big plays and taking what they give you was really big.
Tyus Mason gets a good run. Here's another pass. This one into the end zone, and guess what? Another touchdown pass. This is finally Taj gets one. He scored in every game except for last week against Independence.
Yeah, it was really good. He got a couple catches there and getting that touchdown. Really good drive though. I don't even know how many plays it was, but it was at least an 8 or 9 play drive.
Well, you would have thought it took some time off the clock, but the third quarter seemed to take forever. Here's a big run for Mahoney, and he gets all the way through for the touchdown for DuPage. So they're not going away.
Yep.
And you guys continuing to kind of put some things up. Here's J.D. Colgett that gets in the game. You'll go outside again, trying to work the outside. And DuPage getting a little bit more clever on the outside. They're anticipating it, so you go, hey, up the middle to Marshall Clark.
Yeah, like I said, we got to get some guys in, and they're not going to quit. And here they keep coming. We're subbing a lot of players in, but we got to keep playing.
A lot of guys. Nice pass there by Mahoney, getting the big receiver right in the middle of the field. Nearly had a tip, and it wasn't meant to be. And then Aloyas Gray, their tall receiver, going to slide in, makes a good catch there in the middle of 3 defenders.
He did. They came back with 2 quick ones. And again, I remember looking at the clock saying, oh my, let's get this thing going. And this is the stuff you can't do when you give them a little bit of momentum. One, it wasn't slowed them down, and then you fumble it and give the ball back to them when they're kind of clicking.
Yeah, JD with the complete pass, and then they just stripped it away on the reception. They'll get it going again, moving downfield, and they're doing a nice job until Calvin Rainey sniffs this one out. And again, what's with the defensive guys? They seem to be going so fast, and he was on his way, and then all of a sudden the gas just fell out of the tank right there about the 25.
Well, I think he wants the offensive guys to get.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, defensive guys don't like scoring touchdowns, that's for sure. Here's the second touchdown of the year for Tyler Lloyd, and that is touchdown number 6 for Zach Martin, and that sets the record. Good day for him.
Real good. I mean, for the first start, I was happy for him. Played extremely well. We actually put him back in the game. I felt the momentum changing. There was still like 9 minutes to go. I'm like, we got to get something going here.
Well, you certainly did. Here's a long gain down the sidelines. I kept calling him Mr. Green Sleeves, but Zach Mahoney just called him his best friend as he caught that one, hauled it in for a long touchdown pass.
Yeah, we got caught in man coverage, and that was a good play by them, and it was a mismatch, and they executed it.
So fourth quarter, and you've got a lot of clock to burn off. Alex Hilliard getting a lot of time, J.D. Colgett getting a lot of time in the backfield. You bring Zach out and then put him back in. He's been in that situation before where he's had to go into a game when it was already going. What was your assessment of how he performed in lieu of Tay being hurt?
Well, I think Zach regardless prepares to be the starting quarterback if he is the starter or not. I mean, that's just the type of player that he is. When he gets his opportunity, he wants to make, and we talk about it all the time, when you get your opportunity, you got to take advantage of it.
Here's a handoff that falls on the ground, and instead of just falling on it, Tyus tried to pick it up, and then it ends up in the hands of DuPage. So they keep coming down, but a lot of the dark side guys don't necessarily get in all the time. There's Keith Swickerath on the back end of that play, makes the tackle, and DuPage was on their heels even with the second and third stringers in.
Well, yeah, and there's a nice pick by Ben Garlock, but that goes to show. I mean, we got some pretty good players in the 2s and 3s, and that can come in and do well. Just they get limited repetition during the week.
Well, you got 4 running backs that can really do the job. A game like this really let them take control. And how about this interception? And you just keep getting guys into the ball game and getting a chance to make plays. Nice job there.
Yeah, Stone Kane, he plays really well on special teams for us in a huge role, and it's good to see him get an interception.
Yeah, we called his name quite a bit on special teams on Saturday. So you get the win, 65-27. Maybe gave up a few more points than he wanted to, but a solid win nonetheless over a very talented DuPage team that just can't find a break on the road. Good thing they didn't find it against you.
Yeah, well, exactly. And they have struggled, and they've played a tough schedule as well. I think the biggest thing right now is when we're able to get up on people, and they almost think, oh, here we go. Right. I mean, this is number 2 ranked team in the country. We can, coach is out. You can't make mistakes. We got to play our best. And then you get up 14-0 just like that. It's almost like it takes the wind right out of their sails. We gave them a little bit of life, but we built such a lead that the momentum was going to be able to switch back and forth.
You scored 21 in the first, second, and third. You go scoreless in the fourth. What's the play calling like when you get in the fourth quarter? You know those guys want to play, guys like Alex Hilliard, guys like J.D. Colgett. They're waiting for that opportunity. How much do you dial it back knowing that they've worked for that opportunity to get into the ball?
Well, I think the approach that I take is, and I'll let the coaches know we can get first downs. And so if we got to throw to get a first down, we can do that, but we're not going to try to do something that we can get down the field. But at the same time, for me, this week was let's get out of here, and we are so banged up. I just didn't want someone to get injured because we're trying, and I wanted that clock to keep going. So we even toned it back a lot more in the fourth, and it was 3rd and 20-something, and I'm just like, let's just run it just to keep the clock going.
Well, I know that on the air, the game, it just seemed like it took such a long time in the second half. I, at one point, looked at my watch and misread it and said it was 5 o'clock. My dad got a laugh out of that. And it seemed like the game had taken forever, but it was, average time game. But that second half, after that explosive first half, even with 42 points from a combined aspect in the third quarter, just seemed like it took a long time. But you get it done. You get everybody out relatively healthy. Hopefully you get your starting quarterback this week, and we'll see exactly how it will play out against a very, very talented Hutchinson team. So we'll talk about the rankings and all of that when we come back. Travis Jacobson will sit down first, though, with a record-setting performer from Saturday's blowout win. We're back in a moment with quarterback Zach Martin. He loves his offense, and we love our offense. That's why we have so many offensive players on the show. The Stroh Show continues right after this.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
The Coach Stroh Show continues here on CBTV 17. I'm IWTV student Travis Jacobson, joined by redshirt freshman Zach Martin. And Zach, congratulations on the win against DuPage, and thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me here.
You finished with 296 yards, and you only threw for 6 touchdowns. No big deal. Your offense seemed to be clicking quite well. in that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had a good week of practice, and we had a lot of fun during practice. And, you know, I just think it comes down to execution, and we ended up doing that on Saturday.
Well, you slung the ball around, throwing to 9 different receivers. What's it like to have that kind of versatility in your wide receivers to throw to?
I mean, I like to have, you know, good connection with all my guys, and everybody played really well on Saturday. And I just think, you know, we have so much talent in the receiving core that, you know, you need to get it to different guys so that they have to respect all those guys when they're watching film and preparing for us.
Is there any one receiver that you can maybe have a little bit more of a chemistry with, or just all of them?
Well, Alex Reed is my roommate, so I
Okay.
share a shower with him every day, so I see him every day, so maybe him.
Well, maybe that's why you got 2 touchdowns instead of just the one like the other 4 receivers got.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
You sat behind Tay this whole season, leading up to Week 8. What have you learned from him as you got your first start?
Well,
as a Reaver?
first thing about Tay is that he's a really good leader, and I've learned a lot from him from leading the team. And you know, I just wanted to go out there and you know, do my best and, you know, get our team to another win. And he did the same thing last year when Connor Bavard got suspended or whatever, and Tay went in and filled in, and he did a great job and led the team to a win. So that's all I was trying to do.
You mentioned Connor Bavard. You redshirted last year. Is there anything that you took away from last year learning behind Bavard?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Connor was just a great leader and overall a great person. He just you know, everyone on the team liked him, and I just kind of took a hold of that, what he did.
Now, you grew up over across the river in Omaha. You went to Omaha North High School. Your father was your coach. What's it like to have your dad coaching you on the football team?
Everybody always makes jokes about, you know, having a coach's kid always doing everything right, but yeah, I just always see it from a coach's perspective. You know, whatever everyone wants, you know, players to do from a coaching perspective, and I just, you know, I try to do that.
Do you feel like you have an edge being the son of a coach in terms of seeing the plays, reading the defenses?
Mm-hmm. I mean, when I was probably about 8 or 9, I started watching film with my dad, so I started learning from a young age, and it was just, you know, I love football, and I think that's probably a lot to have to do with him.
Now we've got Hutch coming into town this week. It's number 4 versus number 2. What do you expect to see from them in your last home game here?
They have a lot of speed on defense, and their front seven's pretty good, and their secondary's pretty good too. And we're gonna have to practice really well this week, have a good week of practice, and we're gonna have to, when we go out on the field on Saturday, we have to execute, take care of the ball, and just, you know, play our best game of the year.
Well, Zach, we'll look forward to seeing you play against Hutch, and hopefully you can bring out a win for the Reavers. There's redshirt freshman Zach Martin. Coming up after the break, Jake Ryan and the coach sit down to talk about this week's top 5 matchup. We'll be right back.
Teachers today are finding new ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable.
We're back to wrap things up here on the Coach Stroh Show on CBTV Channel 17. Jake Ryan and the Oracle of the O, head coach Scott Strohmeyer. Well, you get Hutchinson this week after that 2 games left. Can you believe you're 8 games into it already?
It's gone pretty fast, hasn't it?
It has, absolutely. So you're second this week. Hutch moves up a spot with the loss of Gulf Coast. Trinity Valley up into the 3rd spot. East Mississippi still holding even stronger now to the top spot. So this is a chance to kind of move yourself into position to say, hey, you know, we're good enough to play in that national championship game. What do you know about Hutch other than they've got some dudes on the team?
Well, I mean, scrimmage them the last couple of years. I've gotten to know their head coach. Became pretty good friends over the last probably 4 or 5 years. So, I mean, you're looking at it as they were as well. You know, you get through your schedule, and there's some games that you're always looking forward to. I know they're going to be well prepared and ready to go, and they're excited to come here and play us as we're excited to play them. I'll tell you what, there's 2 pretty good football teams going to be out on the field on Saturday. A lot of good individual players, well coached on both sides of the ball. So just excited for the opportunity, both being 8-0.
Yeah, and another top 5 battle, and it's kind of cool that we've gotten 2 in the same season, and I think that comes along with being in that scheduling agreement with the Jayhawk Conference, more quality opponents. We were talking earlier about your defensive numbers. Maybe you've got a few more touchdowns than you would like to allow, but you said it yourself, against more quality opponents, and you're still 8-0.
It is, and you know going in, this year I knew it was going to be, there's some battles in there, and week in and week out, there's good players across the Jayhawk. And when we joined it, everybody said that the Jayhawk was one of the tougher junior or colleges or conferences in the country in junior college, and I guess we're seeing it firsthand. They are pretty good, and we got the best one right now coming to our place.
Well, your sophomores are at, to this point, 19-1 through 2 seasons. What do you say to those guys on Saturday, their last home game?
Well, I mean, I told them, this is why you came here, to be in this position. They're 19-1, a really good team coming to play you, and last time in front of the home fans, and to remember your time at Iowa West. No one game is going to, that they're going to remember you for one game, but I want them to remember their last game as well.
All right. Well, it's chili cook-off. Are you going to get a chance to go get some chili before the game?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, we'll have.
Let me know how.
We'll have extra helpings for you. All right.
All right.
Culinary Club chili cook-off right before the game. That'll run from 11:30 to 12:30. That does wrap up this week's edition of the Coach Stroh Show. Can't wait for a tremendous game on Saturday afternoon, so get out there and support the Reavers. Also can't wait for that chili cook-off beforehand. As I told you, 11:30 to 12:30, $5 get you a sample of every team's creation and a bowl of your favorite, so don't miss out on that one. It's one of my favorite home games of the year. Little chubby guys like that. Saturday's broadcast on The River and 897theriver.com begins at 12 noon with the pregame, followed by kickoff at 1 o'clock between the 4th-ranked Dragons of Hutch and the 2nd-ranked Reavers of Iowa Western. Something's got to give as both teams come in at 8-0 on the season. Video stream can be seen on ihigh.com/IWCC. It is a blackout for the Blue Dragons, so wear your black to the game. Make sure that you wear your black and be loud. We don't want them to feel at home when Saturday comes along at Titan Stadium. So again, thanks to everybody for helping out with today's show. For head coach Scott Strohmeyer, redshirt freshman quarterback Zach Martin, who was our guest today, along with Travis Jacobson and all the IWTV students that helped make the production happen. And of course to you for tuning in every week on the Coach Stroh Show. Until next week, wear black for this week only. Be loud and go Reavers. See you next time.